Hey, Shuri, how's it going? It's Orly. I was in the middle of responding to your email and I realized that it's probably going to be better if I make a video that's specifically for you. Being a teacher, a former teacher, and always a teacher, I understand what it feels like, and I just wanted to respond directly to what you mentioned um, in your email. First of all, I just want you to know that you're awesome. All teachers need to hear that and be told that constantly every day. I know that teachers aren't necessarily uh, compensated monetarily or compensated just in terms of words and given that encouragement as much as they need to be. Because the truth of the matter is, it's good teachers in the world that really change the world, because it's the teachers that bring about the new generations of doctors and lawyers and entrepreneurs and thinkers and scientists and innovators and musicians and authors, etc. The teachers are the ones that inspire people to be able to do those types of things. So I want you to know, and I want to say to you, thank you. I know it's not always easy to see the impact that you're making. And as a teacher myself, there were so many days that I questioned my impact, even till today, where I look back and I question, did I really make a difference? Did the work I do even matter? And sometimes you don't know the answer to that question. But then you happen to bump into someone. And for me, this was a couple weeks ago. Okay, a couple weeks ago, I bumped into a former student of mine. He's now, I don't know, what is he? He's 21. And I had him when he was in 7th and 8th grade. Okay, so he was 12, 13 years old. And this was a kid that was really super shy. He had self-confidence issues, and he was not a great student academically. He was a twin, and his sister was amazing academically, and he was struggling a lot. And I had his class, because I had, once I was teaching for 7 years, so towards the end, they were giving me a lot of honors classes as well. But they also gave me classes that were much on like the lower scale academically, and I always ended up loving those classes more. You know why? Because the smart kids are going to learn with or without you. But it's the kids that other teachers have given up on. Those are the kids that really need you. Because they're not stupid. They're not. They're not able to do. They're able. They just need someone to believe in them a bit more. And with this kid, so I was at my cousin's engagement party, and he comes up to me. I saw him. You don't understand how happy I was to see him. I loved this boy. Loved him. Okay? Because I knew how hard he tried. So even though he didn't do well, his 65 was like 100 for me. I was psyched for him. And I always continued to give him positive feedback, no matter how poorly he did. And continued to help him work on it and try again and try again. And I had written him a book. I didn't write him a book, but I used to give out gifts in my class. Like every month we do a raffle. And it was a book that they would win. And the kids were so excited about it. And I gifted one to him with his name on it, and I wrote him a letter inside, just speaking to his accomplishments and how far I know he'll go in his life. And of course, he got it. Of course, he thanked me, but, he didn't understand it at the time. Or I expected he understood it. But when I bumped into him a few weeks ago, he said to me, Orly, I want you to know I was going through my drawers and I was going through my stuff to see like what I can get rid of. And I stumbled on the book that you wrote to me. And I read the letter and I started crying. And he said, since then, I've been reading a little bit of that book and studying it every day. It was a book about, sort of like seeing the beauty within the everyday, within nature. And he's like, the letter you wrote to me, he's like, I couldn't understand it back then when I was a kid. You saw something in me that I didn't see yet in myself. That's what he said to me. And honestly, I was going to start crying because I needed to hear that so bad. I was going through a really, really rough week and just not feeling so great about myself and questioning. And it's okay to question. I question myself all the time, even though, yes, don't you see how much impact you're making? Okay, great. It's great, but we all question ourselves. So I just want to give you the confidence and the strength to know you're not going to always see the impact you're making right away, especially when it comes to students, because sometimes they're not able to get it yet. And he said that to me, and I understood. He's like, you were talking, you always treated us like we were on your level, Orly. And he said, I really appreciated that, but I wasn't even able to get the message you were giving to me back then. But yet you implanted a seed in me so that when I got older and I read this, I was able to tap back into that, and it was there because you planted it within me. That's the beauty of a teacher. It's seeds. You're planting seeds. And those seeds are going to grow. Maybe you're not going to see them grow right away because it doesn't happen overnight. And I know that we're not used to that in this world. We're not used to, clicking a button and not having something pop up right away. We're used to it happening right away, right in front of our face at that exact second. And when it doesn't happen, it's just like a letdown. That's just because that's what technology's gotten us used to. We forget that it's the hard work and dedication that we put into things. And then over time, seeing the fruits of our labor. We forget that. That's true growth. That's something that's going to last a lifetime. Because if things happen in an instant this way, if it's just a trend, right? Everybody's that trend fades out as fast as it faded in. But a teacher and the impact a teacher makes is not a trend. It's a long-term investment. And that's why sometimes it could seem like it's a thankless job. Because a long-term investment, sometimes you want to pull out. Oh my gosh, when are you going to see the return on your investment? When are you going to see it? But a great investor can see the potential in something. Not the potential that's going to come out of it, in a day or in a week, but the potential of what will happen, the exponential growth of what will happen over a period of years. That is a very smart investor. And that's exactly what a teacher is. So, my message to you and my message to any teacher that might stumble on this video is to never give up and to never have doubt, and what you wrote in here, and I think a lot of teachers have this, discouragement sometimes, that you've been given a class where the students are failing and it's so hard for you and there's so many behavior problems. I'm going to tell you this, okay? Anybody can learn. Anybody. Anybody can be taught. It's just about getting through to a person. In my opinion, it's just about giving them the confidence to believe in themselves, to believe that they can actually learn, that they can actually succeed. Because oftentimes kids that fail, that's all they know, because that's all that people tell them. Oh, you failed. You're not good enough. You're not going to be able to do it. But the minute a kid sees that someone believes in them, really believes in them, and talks to them like a person, not like a kid, but talks to them as an individual, sees the potential in them, they're going to prove you right. They're going to prove you right. So what I would say is look at this as an opportunity before you, an opportunity to really make an impact. So that's my message to you, Cherie, and I guess to teachers out there who might stumble on this. I love you very much. Keep doing what you're doing, and remember, the impact isn't going to come right away, but I promise you it's there. I promise you. I love you. Bye.